Well, lessons and carols. God knows we need some lessons. There's much that we have to learn. Carols, it's an interesting genre of music, isn't it? People who love carols may be fans of classical music, rock music, country music, hip-hop, I guess, music. It's a time of year. It's the content. It's not a particular style. There's something beautiful about it. There's something unifying about a carol. You may hear someone singing a carol alone, but you'd prefer them not to. You want to sing along. You have a hard time not joining in and singing along. There have been an array of pop stars over the years who have offered their renditions of various carols and sold recordings. The worst of these, by far, would be Bob Dylan's. It's just, I think when you go to hell, they make you listen to Bob Dylan's Christmas. I don't know that, but I suspect. Another really bad one, but I kind of like it for a reason, is Johnny Cash. You did not, with our kind of music, you did not come today expecting to hear the name Johnny Cash. I read an article about Johnny Cash's music. It says he sang of injustice and truth. He was the deadpan poet of cotton fields, truck stops, and prisons. He was a balladeer, spellbinding storyteller, a witness. Here was a man who knew the commandments because he had broken so many of them. Roseanne, his daughter, said his music combined light and dark at the same time without negating each other. She spoke of God's harmony. Shadow is not darkness. Deficiency is not defeat. Sadness cannot become despair. The light shines all the more brightly because it breaks forth from the shadows. We've seen the shadows, we've seen the darkness the last couple of days. It's odd to me that in a world that increasingly distrusts the church and doesn't believe in God, that when something like this tragedy happens, you turn on the TV and everyone's flocking to a church. I'm getting phone calls. Somebody wants to hear from a pastor. There's much talk of prayer. Newscasters on various networks saying we should pray. I mean, what else do you do? That's correct. Prayer. We need to think about the kind of people that we are. We come together at Christmas and we sing about peace on earth, silent night, holy night. Then what are we really doing in our lives? Lisa and I were watching the coverage of this story. I flipped just a couple of channels, and right there it was. It was a movie. Somebody had an automatic weapon mowing some people down. We have a taste for this in our culture. We have an angry culture. We have a rage in our souls. And if we're going to be the people who come together and sing peace on earth, the people who believe in the birth of Jesus to a holy family, there's some conversations that we just need to have. I don't want to politicize anything, but the gun conversation might be an important one. I mean, I don't know. The answer to this, does Jesus really like assault weapons? Another conversation that's maybe more important is the one about mental health. 32 years ago, we rolled back support for mental health programs in this country. We've not dealt well with the mentally ill. Jesus came, they seemed to be his favorite people to be around, to do all he could to heal them. How should we say it? I heard somebody the other day trying to organize some toys for children at Christmas. They said it's just not Christmas if you don't have toys. I've argued against this. I've said poor children don't need toys as much as they need some heat in their house, they need some food, they need some clothes, they need some medical care. Here's this that we learned. We can say it's just not Christmas without toys. It's just not Christmas without life. Life. Being there. We've heard the story. It's just shattering of children looking forward to Christmas who will not be there at Christmas. They have names that we know, names from our own families. They're their names: Charlotte, Daniel, Olivia, Josephine, Anna, Dylan, Madeline, Catherine, Chase, Jesse, James, Grace, Emily, Jack, Noah, Caroline, Jessica, Aviel, Benjamin, Allison. You know, we're Christians who believe in God's promise. And we believe that God wants us to be his people now. God wants his will to be done now. It requires some hope. Hope's hard. It requires trust, belief in a promise. The other night, I'd read up that there was going to be a meteor shower. I love astral phenomena, so I thought, that's great. So I went outside, and I've got to tell you, it was cold, and I looked up for a long time till my neck hurt, and I had not seen a meteor. And I began either to doubt those who'd said there would be meteors, or I began to gripe that I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, there was so much ambient light. I was about to go in. Then suddenly, there it was, a bright meteor, and it wasn't just a quick thing. It traversed the entire breadth of the sky. I laughed out loud. I kept watching for more. We're the people who know how to wait in the dark and look for faint hints of the fulfillment of God's good hope. So we have faith, we grieve, we love, we never give up hope. Our first reading is from the prophet Isaiah, chapter 11. There shall come forth a shoot from the stump of Jesse. The Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom, understanding, counsel, might, knowledge, and fear of the Lord. His delight shall be in the fear of the Lord. The wolf shall dwell with the lamb. The leopard shall lie down with the kid. A little child shall lead them. The cow and the bear shall feed together. Their young shall lie down together. The child shall play over the hole of the asp. They shall not hurt or destroy in all my holy mountain. For the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea.